What is Barkada to you?
Barkada to me, as much as this sounds cliche, it literally means a group of friends, but it truly has been a family and a home away from home. Whenever I found myself homesick and wanting to go home, I know that I can just go to Barkada and I can be deeply connected back to my cultural roots and just have fun, and suddenly all the sadness goes away.
Barkada was the first group of friends I really found in Boston, and it was the community I really needed from coming home, or going away from home.
What is Barkada to you?
It's a really good way to meet dancers from New Jersey, I think. No, I think I joined my spring semester freshman year. I forget who I followed into the club, but I met them somewhere else. And then for the next 2 years, 3 years, it took over most of my social life. Like even going home, I'm from Jersey. A lot of my friends in Barkada were also from Jersey, and I hung out with them that one summer. I think it really shaped how I interact with people socially.
Barkada to me is a home away from home and a place where I can celebrate my culture and be with my best friends.
Barkada to me is a group of friends that I can always rely on and always see at any GM or anywhere on campus and know I have a friendly face to say hello to.
Barkada is a very special club for me. It's where I made most of my friends and made most of the memories I formed in college and had the best fun. So much good memories has come out of Barkada, whether it's from friends or dancing even.
Barkada to me is a place where I can kind of just be myself and de-stress from school life in general.
As someone who's very family oriented, Barkada has been able to kind of fulfill that void or absence I have with my family and lack thereof in college. And they've really been a second family to me, and I wouldn't have had that anyway.
Yeah, so Barkada to me, I'd say pretty generic answer. It's definitely a sense of community. I got into Northeastern ED1, coming from Texas. I didn't know or had no one really coming up here that I knew, but as I searched through the club website that Northeastern had upon getting accepted, I came across this one club with the Filipino flag. I was like, oh, that's cool, let me go pull up their YouTube, watch through their entire benefit set. A lot of good vibes, and it was definitely a community where I knew that I could belong, especially after seeing the beautiful Lenny Rivera on his video of him singing Bahay Nako. That was a very good first impression. Glad to meet you, Leonard. What was also awesome about that was how I was super fanboying over this guy. I was like, bro, I gotta meet this guy. This guy is mad chill. Just because of that one video. Had to come here, and once I got matriculated here in my first year, bro, I was in the Philippines. I was like, oh man, maybe next year. I'll live with them next year. Boom! Insane connection. Allegiance, shout out Allegiance, by the way. Leonard's been my boy ever since though. Late night study sessions, we didn't study at all. We did was just jam on guitar, and then we filled all of our classes, so that was pretty cool. And then I switched my major. Yeah.
Nice. What is Barkada to you?
So, I actually knew that I wanted to join Barkada months before even stepping foot on Northeastern. And the first days of class, I went to the very first meeting, and then I never looked back. And when you give something your all and do it in the way that we do, combine that with 4 of the most formative years of your life, and everything that I was and everything that I am and everything that I will continue to be, that is all thanks to Barkada.
What is your favorite memory from Barkada?
My favorite memory in Barkada has to be my very first Bahay Kubo when I was a freshman. The reason it's my favorite memory was because I just remember gleaming and my face lighting up while I was performing on stage and while I was with a new community that I called home, Barkada. I feel like since then I've just made everlasting friends that I'm still friends with 4 years later, going on to my 4th Bahay Kubo. I don't know, I think these are friends that I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life, and whenever I look back on my first Bahay Kubo, it just reminds me of how my Filipino identity has kind of shifted and changed a bit. And I really liked being immersed in Filipino culture and just learning more in general about the Philippines, and like Bahay Kubo was just a great opportunity for me to embrace my Filipino heritage and meet other Filipino people.
My favorite memory from Barkada was BK last year, where I joined one dance and it was Tinikling, and this year I'm running it back.
That's a hard question because there's definitely a lot, but I think overall for me, definitely like my e-board year was definitely like an amazing memory. Specifically like preparing for BK, and like BK in itself, like it was like our 25th like anniversary, and I just think we did so many like awesome things that year, and like BK was just so magical for me. Like our e-board set was so fun, and so I think definitely probably that BK.
I think it's hard to pick just one. Off the top of my head, I think of getting picked up by Nate, embarking at reveal, my fatal snowball fight, and picking up John.
What is your favorite memory from Barkada?
When I looked down at my paper and I saw the next clue, it was a nonchalant guy, dressed well, sitting in the corner. It was my big Jaws. My favorite memory was getting picked up. That was my initiation to Barkada. I want to thank everyone that encouraged me to join and sign up, especially Priscilla. And I'd like to thank royalty and family.
I would say, I think my favorite memory was the very first dance workshop I went to was for PC line practice. I was pretty nervous because I have never come from a dancing background. I was an athlete my entire life, so like the extent of my coordination was doing my drills at practice. So it was pretty funny that like all of a sudden I was like, okay, like why not try this out, let's see where this goes. But I remember when at the end of practice they're like, okay, we're gonna record it in groups. I was like, recorded groups. But it ended up being my gateway to Barkada dance, which has become a huge part of my experience now. It's really fun. I enjoy being with my friends and just like having a good laugh.
I think the first one that comes up is my freshman year BK, and realizing that like, oh my gosh, all of these graduating seniors are going to give a speech, and so like we were like, dang, this might take a while. But during those speeches, I think it was Sean Padilla that was talking about how he met Gwen, and I think when he was talking about their relationship and stuff, I like turned over to Gabe, and I think we both just started bawling our eyes out. And for some reason that stuck with me because there are a lot of people that you don't realize the sort of connection that you have over just like random things like, oh my gosh, this couple is so cute, and like that makes you emotional sometimes, but there's a lot of like random shared moments that stick out. Even, I think the first time that I choreographed anything, I choreographed Tinikling with Sophie second year, and then like sharing that responsibility and teaching that dance, and then finally being able to perform it and finish it successfully, also a really, really great feeling.
If you could leave a message to your future self about Barkada, what would it be?
I would say that the more that you put into this club, the more you get out of it. So I hope that you're still involved and that you keep your friendships, because I'm sure that they will last a lifetime.
Probably just try to make the most of the time you have with it. Do all the fun things that you want, so you don't regret having missed out on anything.
Don't be a stranger. I know you're terrible at responding to people's messages, but once you finally do open that text or reach out to that someone you haven't reached out to in years, it's going to feel like no time has passed at all, and it'll be worth it.
Oh, I mean, you know, what I've realized is that no amount of money can buy a second of time, so we have to manage our time to the best of our ability. I mean, right now it's 9:10. It was 9:09 a minute ago, and we can't go back to 9:09. it's perpetually moving forward. So yeah, that would be my message.
Always remember to like give back to the communities that gave to you. I feel like I've gotten a lot of advice and friendship out of Barkada, and a lot of it was from people who are older than me. So even like when I'm like unk as hell, like if someone reaches out to me, to always like be a helping hand.
Always live in the moment. I know with college and everything, it can be really stressful and you're really either worrying about the future or the past, but just remember to be present in life, because by the time you know it, you're going to be a senior and I'm going to be at my final BK, so just remember to take it all in and slow down.
Put your all into it. This is a community that you don't really find anywhere else. There's a lot of people that I've met here, and through the club I've met other people that are also really important to me. So like, put your all into all of your relationships, like be intentional about your actions and who you are. You don't get this anywhere else, and it's really hard to find elsewhere. I know so many people that have graduated in the last couple of years that like the first couple of months after graduating, they miss the community. It's so hard to find, so really value that and be intentional with your time.